Good evening, everybody. I am Frankie James, and this is the host.
One and only KB, as I used to call myself in a previous life.
I still like that nickname, though. And this is the Keep On Rolling Pushing for Change podcast. Make sure you follow us on Facebook at Keep On Rolling Pushing for Change podcast. We'll make sure that we have all those social media links. This is the first episode. Thanks for having me be a part of it, dude.
Thank you for giving me an outlet to start it back up. It's been a
Shit, yeah, man.
really long time. So for those that may be listening in the future,
We'll have to go into all that stuff.
started an original podcast back in 2007 where it was called podcasting.
Fans must be going crazy for you, brother. I love that.
It's always nice to have a little crowd support.
Sure.
So I did a podcast with one of my best friends, Josh Green, from 2007 about 2011.
A lot of experience.
A little bit, not as much as you, but we
Please,
we had
please.
we had some fun. And then the idea was, both of us have spina bifida, so
Yeah.
we wanted to create a space.
Just that exactly.
Yeah,
That exactly is a space, for people with this. And this is just things that I've learned along the way, just with being good friends with you. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited to do this with you. And this is the first episode, but I think that we definitely will probably record a pilot episode so they get to know both of you and I. So if you're listening to this episode right now, you already have an idea of who we are because we're going to record. We've recorded this first, but we're going to record the pilot episode for everybody to listen. But you got a big interview to that.
yeah. Well, that's how the disabled do it. They do it backwards. Important guest with me. I call everybody the VIPs, the very important paraplegics. They're all a part of my group. So I have with me Matt Rich.
Without further ado, the one, the only Matt Ridge Jr. I love that. Absolutely, that's what I meant. How we doing?
How you doing, Matt?
Matt, can you hear us?
Can.
Fantastic. Let's hit that applause button. That first one on the bottom there. Love that. Wonderful. Look, you're already looking at it. You're producing already. I'm gonna go to the host here and let him start to do his thing. And like, it's great to see you, brother. We were talking a little bit off air, man. I'm really excited to be a part of this interview with you and to learn a little bit more about you as well. I'm super excited. So thank you for having me also be a part of your interview, my friend.
Thank you so much for being a part of it. I've Kevin told me he had a buddy who was helping him out, and I couldn't wait to meet you, man.
You're so sweet. I wish I had the kissy face. So the kissy lips on that. It's pretty humble. Yeah, I mean, you might not be able to see. Well, actually, if you drift this way a little bit, there's a picture that right back there. Kev actually made that picture for me.
Wow.
I'm a hockey player. I've been playing for 20 years.
Nice.
I spent some time in the media with the Flyers for 6 years. I was a journalist with the Flyers for 2 years, and then I'm a photographer with them. It's kind of a thing. And Kev gifted me with that bad boy. That does incredible work. So, but real quick plug. Yeah, check them out. Check out his socials. We'll make sure we get them out there. But I'm gonna let you get started with your interview, and we're gonna go from there. We'll start with our first topic of the day, my friend.
Yeah. So I have Matt Rich here.
Right there. Here's all your stuff right here.
Oh,
All your talk.
awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. It's a little more advanced than back when I was doing my podcast. It's technology has changed and gotten so much better.
Sure.
And in that time, like I said, growing up, Josh and I were doing our podcast, and it was created as a space to give people with disabilities a creative outlet to share their stories and resources.
I love that.
And so Matt Rich here is a former teammate of mine. The three of us played wheelchair basketball together.
I love that. That's incredible.
Not necessarily all on the same team. They were broken down by 8.
You gotta compete against each other. You got a little competition, boys. A little bit of competition out there.
Little competition. So I've known Matt for well over 20 years now.
Wow.
And he's done amazing things. He's been a motivational speaker. He's been a personal trainer.
It's incredible.
Yeah, he's working in the office now. Like he's done a lot of great things, and
a damn good looking guy. Respectfully saying. I mean, let's go.
Thank you, Frankie.
People can't see the beard, but the beard is making me jealous.
We got the playoff beer going here. We were going full throttle. Me and Matt, we're rocking. You get a solid beard though too.
I'm working on it.
It could be worse. It could be Shane.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
The gray's coming in a little bit, so I gotta.
Big fan.
My wife says I'm good looking too, so that helps a lot.
Hey, all right, okay. 2 compliments in one day. You can't get something. Hey, people, listen. Sometimes you gotta pay double for that kind of action.
That's true.
I wanted to touch base with you and find out what's been new in your life and what's been going on. I see, you've got a bit of an online presence with your quick riches videos and things like that. So I wanted to know how you really went from playing basketball to where you're at now with the motivational speaking and all the things that you've worked with as far as like nutrition goes, and just kind of how you transitioned from that.
Sure. Wow, I was prepared. I promise I was. What I've been up to now is this October. I'll be married for 4 years. Is it four, babe? 4 years. And I have a puppy. His name is Pretzel.
Love that. Love your dogs, man. Love your pets, bro. I just wanna if you don't mind, since
Yeah.
it's been a tough day, we just actually got back from about an hour ago from having to put my little one down.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay, brother. It's okay. It was time, and, the pups, man, they're just incredible. I already miss we'll be getting our next picture of him, have you do that one with him in the hockey gear.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we miss Major already, just a little shout out for Major. Yeah, but love your pups, people. Love your pups.
And they
That's right.
provide love and comfort. Come home from a hard day and always excited to see it.
Especially when that red rocket pops out,
Oh,
because
geez.
that's happened a couple times.
Yeah, you gotta watch your leg. You gotta watch your leg. It's a little messy.
I'm gonna have him crack up laughing, dude.
Pretzel runs because he's scared of it.
No way.
Yeah, he's scared of it.
Scared because it's small or large?
I'm not really sure.
Well, cool. Let's get an exclusive with Pup next in the interview.
Yeah. You gotta see what he's working with here.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, yeah, just jump back on what you were saying, man. The transition from what you were doing to what you got going on now. How was it for you? Was it something that you knew that you wanted to do and it made it easier?
Well, the speaking part started well over 20 years ago when I graduated high school in 99.
Where?
I'm sorry.
From where? Where'd you graduate high school from?
I graduated from Camden County Technical School in Sicklerville.
Camden County. All right. Shout out
I,
to Camden County.
I took marketing ed while I was there.
Love marketing.
And my first speaking engagement was actually for a place that my grandma worked for. She was actually their cleaning lady, and she worked for individuals who had like mental disabilities and such. And she said, you should come speak to them. I think it would be pretty cool. And I'm like, okay. And I just showed up, walked in on my crutches. I'm like 17 years old. And I walked into this room and I sat down and I looked around. I'm like, there's 100 people in here. What do I talk about?
Yeah, it can be intense. I've been there before. And from my yeah, I'm sorry.
And I was like, well, I'll just talk about what I've been talking about my whole life, me and my disability.
Yeah, living with it.
So, that's what I did. And it didn't really take off from there, but that was the inspiration behind it. And then, over the years, like I wound up doing multiple speaking engagements for the United Way in 2000, where I helped, was able to help them raise a bunch of money for, community projects that they had going on. And in 2014, I released my very first motivational CD called Fighting Your Lion.
Incredible.
Thank you. Thank you. I haven't released any recordings of besides, videos here and there, speaking online, sticking with doing the quick riches or doing shorts on YouTube. And the reason I've tried to do the shorts or keep it under a short time is to try to keep people's attention and make it as quick as possible because I tend to talk a lot.
But listen, that's the name of the game. I mean, it's always good to give that, and that's what's important because you have a story to share. You have a story to share. So, and very similar to me too. And like, I don't have, when Kevin and I when he came to me about this idea that he had, I always was very, very, inspired by it just because of, so I live with mental health issues, severe. I've done a few TED talks about what I've been through. It's a lot of like the mental health aspect. So you mentioned that you were speaking to people that were in a facility, I believe, right? That's where grandma worked at, in a mental facility.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's so much that I could talk about in
Oh yeah.
today's episode that I told Kevin I would come on future episodes to talk about stuff that we didn't cover. Also
Yeah.
deal with mental health as well. I was actually diagnosed bipolar about 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And I've been taking there's a
You
whole
better be
there. I've been taking
brother.
medication consistently for the last 2 years.
Sure.
Yeah, you got it. It's important to take your medicine. That can be
Yeah.
very destructive when you don't.
Yeah, people have
I
the opinion of like not wanting to take it, and I always said like how important it is because like I mean, so a little bit about me. I survived 2 suicide attempts in the last 5 years, early as April 23rd, 2023, and I'm very open about it. I've done public speaking about it myself. I've done a few TED talks about it. I did one in front of 700 people talking about what I had went through because mine was a public story because being in the media and a little bit of a public figure, word had gotten out and I was interviewed about it and stuff like that. So just a trigger warning. And, real quick, everybody, just a quick little disclaimer. We may be talking about things that could be a little bit triggering. We will always give that quick, hey, this trigger warning before we say what we're going to say. So, real quick, trigger warning from my end. I tried to step in front of a train and was pulled back. And when that happened, I believed really like that there's a reason why I'm supposed to be here. And, this was only a couple of years ago. And I've been very open about it. And it's helped me in tremendous ways. Like I do a lot within the mental health community. So, I've been in a lot of those facilities. I mean, when I was 15 years old, I was in a state rehab facility in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and then when I had went away in 2023, I was in more of a it was like a resort compared to the state ran ones, in which I'm sure you are aware of, like, what a state ran facility looks like and one where you're putting out money. It's unfortunate. It can be unfortunate with the, state ran ones, but I applaud you for getting in there and talking to them because, we never had anything like that. I was only 15, 16 years old and then still dealing with things as a 30, well, now 37. Happy birthday to me on April 30th. We're still here. We made it.
Happy birthday.
I appreciate you, my guy. Sharing the story, I think is so important. That's kind of what we're all here for is to kind of share the story, whether it be from the physical aspect of it or just the mental health aspect of it, which kind of creates a good roundtable discussion of kind of what we're doing right now. So just wanted to applaud you on that little nugget that you gave us there.
Thank you. I've actually been a little bit more closed off when it comes to talking about the mental health side of it I believe out of fear.
Yeah.
Definitely out of fear that being a man and
Yeah.
being ultimately being judged and putting yourself out there on a
Vulnerability.
very, very vulnerable state.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you pick and choose the wrong ones. I've always been one for the ear and a little bit more about me. So I've been volunteering for the Suicide National Hotline for the last 4 years. I haven't done it too much in the last year, but dissecting those issues and just kind of learning and observing is something that I'm very good at. I mean, I can pinpoint things like that. I mean, Kev can even tell you that. So, and we'll be having episodes like that where we do a Q&A where we're essentially live and we have fans kind of reach out and put comments in and I kind of answer them because I am certified to be able to do that kind of thing. Yeah, man, I can understand the vulnerability of it. It can be very difficult. It's essentially what I did for 7 years. Like I had a trigger and something went loose, and then 3 years later, it went fully loose, and I was manic for 2 days, and that's because I didn't talk about it. I was living a facade essentially, Matthew, and that was like on the outside, everybody saw all these incredible things, working with the media, doing this, doing that, doing this, little hey, how's your father doing? The old ba boom. But inside, I was not doing well, not
Yeah.
doing well whatsoever. And then eventually, I'll say this just to kind of end my take on this aspect of it, and then we'll throw it back to you, and we'll start to transition to our topics. What I went through was a lot of because of self-worth issues. I brought a lot of that on myself, and it took a long time for me to hold myself accountable with that. Like, a lot of the decisions I was making that were impacting other people in such a negative way, and a lot of the decisions I was making were the reasons why things were happening the way they were happening. You know what I mean? I didn't need to. I just was not comfortable in my own skin. Like, working in the legal field for 8 years. Why do you have to make a facade about that and say it's something that's bigger? You should be proud. I should be proud about that. I was a high school dropout, but got my high school diploma and ended up going to college. I should be proud about that.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and a lot of and I was able to get to the root of what the issues were, which essentially led to a lot of breaking points. But we'll save that conversation for another one. But I'm going to throw it back to our host here, and we're going to continue transitioning on.
And so, Matt,
Sorry about that, guys.
no, no, go, dude. This is an open space to share. I said this is men talking
Th-
feelings.
th-
This is strange, right?
Do you imagine?
that's this I needed that.
I
I
appreciate.
just so you know that I most likely needed to hear that. And like when Kevin and I were talking earlier, sorry to cut you off, Kev. When
No,
we were talking earlier, this is very much what he said that he's trying to do with this podcast itself. So don't feel bad about often interjecting.
yeah, it's never a feel bad thing. It's just more or less I just don't want to. I'm so used to hosting shows, and I try not to. I can respect the role of like being like more of a co-host and kind of a mediator and stuff like that, and just a conversation keeping it going. But I want to make sure that Kev gets his in as well. But yeah, that's just my take. I'm proud of you, man. I just want to add that in there. I'm proud of you, Matt, for what you've been able to overcome and the things that you've been able to do and continue to do, especially from transitioning to something completely different. So something completely different. Like I was a teacher for so long, and then I went into the legal field for 8 years, and then I got my shot in the media, and then that's when I
Mhm.
essentially launched Sharpen Pucks Media, which is my media company, and we have. I mean, 25 people on staff when we're doing our tournaments, and we have a back end thing. I host a lot of tournaments for charity hockey tournaments. Kev's
Wow.
been a part of my tournament that I had last year. We had a couple of former pro players playing in that one. Kev was one of my volunteers and also in the stands. So, and I love to also offer that to you, Matthew. I'd love to have you get involved with things that we have. have happening as well, and I'll make sure that you get my contact info before we part ways.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Absolutely, Kevin.
I was just there to look pretty. That's all I
I
was
feel like
there
that
for.
you are. I feel like you are just here a little bit.
That's all I'm here for. But Matt, I wanted to ask you, with your public speaking, what's the core message you try to deliver when you're conducting speaking engagements, and how do you balance motivation with honesty, especially when the truth isn't real pretty?
That it can be difficult depending on who you're talking to. Because if you're talking to kids, you have to kind of simplify it in a way that they would understand. I'm trying to think of an example, but at the moment it escapes me. But I think that being as open and honest as you can is helpful for the crowd to understand what you're going through. Like I've literally had to tell people like, stuff that I've gone through maybe not necessarily on a daily basis, but maybe the day of the engagement or leading up to the time, like, hey, I had an accident this morning where, I went to the bathroom on myself and how I had to clean myself up because how are they going to?
That I was literally just how about that, dude? I was just dealing with that. So, and like I said, I'm very open. I was going through a colon cancer scare about what was it about a month ago?
Yeah,
Kev? About a month ago.
about 2 months
Do you
ago.
remember my nickname that my hockey team gave me? The diaper dandy.
And that
Yeah,
that's
I was literally, like, bleeding through my from my rectum, and I was, like, having accidents and stuff like that, like, I was doing the diaper thing, and I wasn't ashamed of it, it was just more or less but it was, like, one of those things that's like, "Holy shit," what's happening here? At least give me a bottle of milk, you know what I mean? So I can really play the part here.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
Tommy
yeah.
Pickle, remember him? Do
That's going way back.
you remember him?
I do remember
Yeah.
that.
Doo-doo what was the theme song for that? Doo-doo-doo Rainbow Falls. So, dude, he has mental health respect. I think that we would've got along real well with that guy.
Grandpa was good. Angelica was a big
We could take every Rugrats character and literally dissect every each one with mental health.
Back to your question, Kev. Can you ask me that again?
I wish I remembered the question.
That's okay. I actually I remember more or less of what it was. I think it was more or less his message of what he's trying to deliver. And you did answer it, by the way. I actually have a question for you too, kind of to transition the show here a little bit. And just real quick, we are this is the podcast. Keep on rolling, pushing for change, the Pushing for Change podcast. Make sure you follow on Facebook, Pushing for Change podcast. We're gonna have those things rocking and rolling as we continue on. We got our good friend Matthew on here. We're going to make sure we get his social media links as well. We'll be posting them out as well. Make sure you give him a follow. We'll get his stuff before the end. But for my question and a little transition on the digital creator aspect of things, you hear a lot of things about like the digital creating and like influencing and stuff like that. And I'm a big supporter of it. Some of my closest friends on the Clubhouse app, little shout out to my people on Clubhouse app. My buddy Ethan Hunt, sorry, Ethan Klein. Ethan Hunt was Mission Impossible, by the way. That was Tom Cruise. But Ethan, he's a social media guru, just a hell of an influencer. He's helped me I was locked out of all my accounts just a couple of days ago. I haven't been able to get my one Instagram account in 2 years. Guess what? It took him 20 minutes. But people
Wow.
misunderstand the creator aspect of things and the life of it. Like, as a digital creator, what's some of the, just a few things, like what's some of the kind of things that you provide, whether it be services or even just, with your own kind of content that you're doing?
With my content, it started out as I had Quick Riches, which was used to say, "My name's Matthew Rich. Welcome to Quick Riches, the segment where I try to enrich your life in 2 minutes or less." And I would give just whatever idea I had in my head, I'd go from there and I'd start and I'd talk and I would hope that I would get the video in under 3 minutes and then just turn it off.
Well,
Too much.
the fans are going nuts for it. Yeah, I love that. Actually love that from more than one standpoint, Matt. Is just that timing aspect of it. I mean, listen, I love a good hot take show. Like my show that I first started was almost like a Jim Rome is burning. If you remember Jim Rome back in the
Mhm.
day, hot take show, rapid fire topics and good debates. I used to always time myself as well, more or less of just obviously, and what I'm taking from that, just from a podcasting standpoint, a content creator as well, is you had your segment, what you were doing, but also I'm sure that kind of had to help you get things down with timing and what you were going to say, so you didn't draw things out. I mean, I know it's difficult to not run off track. I mean, we've obviously all three of us have proved that here, but it did have to help you one way or another to kind of keep things going forward, right?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
no,
Because like now with the YouTube Shorts, which is what I've transitioned into. When I first started doing the speaking videos on there, I'm like, why isn't this getting any views?
Yeah.
And I've researched a little bit, and it's like, well, if you're given an opening, like, hey, my name's Matt Rich, welcome to Quick Witches, to psych myself up, if you will, I guess. And then I just talk. And now the YouTube version of that has turned into Matt Chats.
Okay.
And
Are
how
you ever
that
live in there? You ever live? Do you ever do lives?
I haven't experimented with that yet. Well, no, in the past I have. And here's the issue I had with I've probably been on YouTube for probably 15 years,
Okay, I don't know.
but and you're gonna laugh at me. I'm like, why am I not getting any views on any of my stuff here? So I
Yeah.
just gave up. And I go back and I look at because once I started doing the shorts, I went back and I looked and I'm like, oh my God, that was the issue. Everything I had listed was on private.
My goodness. That's so funny. I love that. I've been there before. It's like I'm a photographer. It's like trying to take photos with the lens cap still on. I've
Been
been
there,
there.
done that.
Yeah, I've been there, done that. I love that, dude. I think that's incredible, man. How's the YouTube channel looking now?
Pretty good. I mean, I have 50 subscribers now. I went from 42 subscribers to 50 subscribers in the last 3 months. The Matt Chats, I had reached out on Facebook and said, can someone give me an idea on what to talk about? Because I'm lost because I haven't put any videos out lately and I need a fresh idea. And my
Cool.
father-in-law, my father-in-law actually hopped on Facebook and put out for a video request on getting organized. And from that, literally came up with the title, what I was going to do, how I was going to write it down. And what I try to do with the title and the episode is like colorize it in the image so like it grabs people's attention. And then it's just a really quick, could be 45 seconds, maybe a minute, and then it just ends.
Okay. Okay. Real quick, why don't you plug your YouTube channel? Where can we find you on YouTube?
You can find me at Matthew Rich Country, and that's all capitalized, or just put in Roland, like Rollin, Roland Dog, DAWG, Roland Dog Country, and I should
You a
come up.
country
There
guy?
should be, yeah, I'm a country music fan.
All right, a little rapid fire for you. Favorite country singer?
All time, Alan Jackson.
Love that. Love that. I'm a big country guy myself.
The reason he's my favorite is because he writes a lot of his own music. Second favorite all time is George Strait.
He likes the old school days.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Uh,
I was thinking you were more of a George Strait.
George Strait and whatchamacallit's right there. So I'm a big Brooks and Dunn guy. I love that. So I love the country. And you know you come off like a countryman. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can now see, I can hear a little bit in the voice too, that southern drawl, you know what I mean?
A little bit.
I'm a big country fan. Jason Aldean, Luke Bryan's, I mean, not Luke Bryan, Kenny Chesney's one of my all-time favorites. Huge Garth fan. Saw Garth live. Actually, here's a little short story for you since we're talking about country music. I won to see XTU, 925 XTU was given. You can only win tickets for XTU for this show. Couldn't buy them. And it was a live show at Prospectors. And if you've been to Prospectors in South Jersey, country bar, it's only their stage only holds about what, like 200 people, 300 people, something like that.
Somewhere around there.
I saw Garth Brooks there.
Beautiful.
oh,
Um,
excellent.
had to win the show. So Garth is one of my all-time faves. I saw Garth twice when he was at Wells Fargo. I saw him at Prospectors. I saw Kenny Chesney's one of my favorites. Got to see Toby Keith. Yeah, I'm a big country guy, but my all-time favorite country singer probably has to be Kenny Chesney. My all-time favorite country song, man, God, first one that came to my mind was probably Amarillo Sky from Jason Aldean.
Yeah.
Just the hardworking, I'm not going to sing it for you, buddy. I already did my karaoke this weekend and it was not good, Matthew.
Better you than me.
Yeah, it was not good. I love that. I love the country thing. We'll make sure that I get your YouTube channel. I couldn't find it here, but we'll make sure we get it. But and we'll replug that. So I love that, dude. And I can give you some tips and tricks on your YouTube. I'll give you one right now for our audience as well, since we're talking about digital creating, and then I'm gonna throw it back to you so we can transition on. Because we're already at see how fast the show goes. We're already at 30 minutes.
Right.
So a little tip for your YouTube channel. Okay, one, if you ever need me to take a look at something for you, if I had time for it, I don't mind taking a look at something for you. But there's something that you could do. One of my good friends, I'll give him a little plug. My buddy Brad, Crawl Daddy Saves, Crawl Daddy Plays. He's a Twitch partner, professional Twitch partner. He's a gamer, and he's also Crawl Daddy Saves. He's a goalie in my hockey league. So he puts a mic on and puts the camera behind him on the glass, and he's barking. You would love it.
That's excellent.
Yeah, he's actually gaming right now. He's actually live on Twitch right now. I'll have to introduce you. He's one of my people. He definitely puts the right people. He puts the people in my direction. He helped me get my YouTube channel started when I started doing my mic up stuff. There's certain things that you can do in YouTube where, and I never knew about this, where you can put these keywords in. It's essentially all these keywords that you could put in. The naked eye couldn't find it. Brad knows how to do this shit, so he showed me. And you put these keywords in. next thing you know, like, and YouTube's one of those toughest ones to grow. I think I only have about, granted, I had to start a new YouTube channel when I rebranded to Chirping Bucks Media, but I think I only have like 168 subscribers on there. And then, the podcast stuff goes on there. A little word of advice for you as well. Those keywords are important. If you need help with that, we can definitely get that going for you. And the second
Sure.
thing, I also told you, and before we transition on from digital stuff, utilize all your social media platforms differently. Okay, so something that's on the YouTube channel necessarily shouldn't be on the Instagram. I usually use YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. My Facebook is for my general aspect of everything that's going on within the brand.
Mhm.
Podcast episodes, tournaments coming up. Instagram usually has those shorts and reels, some graphic work, stuff like that, shorts and reels from the show that I do. And then the YouTube is where we're also live on there for the show, but that's where I put out like big time footage. And I also want to start going on TikTok Live. That's one of the biggies right now. I mean, you want to talk? I just got monetized through Facebook. My show's been
Mhm.
monetized for a while. I get to over 19,000 listens per episode, so it's been monetized for a little bit now. My hockey show, but it's tough. It's tough, but consistency and just a good product. And this is what the three
Where
of us are all about. Besides the mental health aspect of it and the physical disability aspect of it, we're all content creators.
Where I struggled with getting the YouTube restarted was figuring out what exactly I wanted to do. So I started, actually the first time I posted a video for a short for YouTube was like over a year ago. And I'd done a cover song of George Jones, He Stopped Loving Her Today. And I was like,
Okay.
I did another one and another one after that. And then I was like, let me start throwing some of my old videos, my old speaking videos up from Facebook until I can figure out what else I want to do. So right now I've been trying to do the cover songs and also the speaking. And I've been thinking about possibly covering wrestling as well. And I'm not sure how I want to go about doing that because
Correct.
I know the fan base for the internet can be a little crazy. Yeah.
The marks.
I don't know if I'm really nervous about putting a video out there because I've watched so many people do it, like Good Mike Work, Brian Zane. I've watched those guys do it for years, and I don't want people to be like, "Oh, your takes are dumb or they're stupid," or. But I guess I just got to put myself out there.
all right, well, look for you guys. Something you want to chime in on.
Thank you so much. Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate that. First time, long time. Well, I'll tell you this. I was a wrestler. I was one of the first things I did before I got into high school. My name was Salvatore Nunzio Lo Mafioso. I was trained by in Elmer, New Jersey, Noopy's Gym. It's on a farm. Steve the Teacher, CCW, and
Steve
then
the
the
teacher.
outpatient Scotty Ice.
Okay.
His gimmick was an escaped mental patient. He used to come out with Pez dispensers. I was just talking to Scotty a couple days ago. I can call him right now. He was a damn good wrestler.
I remember Steve the teacher.
Steve was great. Yeah, I can show you pictures of me and him when I was 15 years old in Elmer, New Jersey, and I was a skinny guy. So I was their guinea pig. So I had 2 matches, battle royale. I just pretty much just paid the dues, chops, bumps, over the top rope. But it was an incredible experience. I mean, I loved it. But if you ever want to, talk a little wrestling, man, shit, yeah, I'll show up.
Chop,
I'll dress up, dude.
chops or no
We
chops?
were just talking about wrestling. Yeah, I love. I mean, some of the best days in the Attitude Era was that. Man, we can go off on that. I get you a couple interviews, buddy. We'll get you Scotty. We'll get you Steve. I'll come on. You know what I mean? And then we just, yeah, dude, you got this.
Tough to in a previous life of mine. We were very wrestling heavy in our podcast to start.
Really?
So we had
Yeah.
JJ Dillon,
Okay.
the manager of the Four Horsemen
Shit, yeah, I'm familiar. Yeah,
back in those days.
I get you
And
Stevie too. I get
yeah,
you Stevie Richards.
yeah, Stevie
Yeah,
Richards.
Stevie. Yeah, I know Stevie pretty well. Yeah, I'll tell you a crazy story about Crash Holly too. He was there for that. Remember when Crash Holly had passed away?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. R.I.P.
When I'm ready to do that, I'll let you know because
Nobody. Yeah, let me know. You don't ever think, don't and I appreciate you being so vulnerable, just saying like, you were nervous that people were going to kind of judge. I'll say this, brother, a couple of things for you right off the bat. Let them put those comments in there. Let them put those comments in there. I'll tell you a short story about my buddy Brad. My buddy Brad went viral when it all started for him. 2.6 million views on this one video. What happened was he was mic'd
wow.
up as a goalie, and the ref came over and he had said, "Hey man, can you fix the net for me?" The ref stared at him and did this, and he skated away. And Brad was like, "Okay, I guess I'll do your job, dumbass." He got so much shit. You shouldn't talk to refs like that. Blah 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 blah. Guess what? He got 2.6 million views on it, which took it to the next level. You want that, and especially with wrestling, take it as a gimmick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's okay. Hey, listen, what did our main man say before when he retired? Was in the Hall of Fame. What was it? Good times last.
One second. Bad times don't last. Bad guys do.
Something like that.
Yeah,
Scott Hall,
Yeah.
Scott Hall.
one of the best around.
Yeah.
So don't
Oh,
ever think you can't do it because you can do
I'm
it.
trying to think of it now too, man. Yeah,
Yeah, we'll make sure we play it for the fans later on. But I love my buddy. Actually, did you meet Cliff at my house?
I believe I did.
Cliff had the glasses on. He was with his wife is Lisa, who was the black lady here.
Yes,
Respectfully
yes.
saying, me and Cliff, we love. He's a wrestling guy. So we'll watch the pay per views every now and we'll have to all get together for the PPV.
Yes, yes.
You know what I mean? I told him I'm dressing up. He was a big WCW guy. Like Razor Ramon was his favorite. But me personally speaking, I think the best thing, and this is my final take on it, and we'll continue on. Right now, the most overrated and the guy that need to push over and put over is Joe Hendry right now.
Yeah. I
oh,
believe he's doing well.
absolutely. That guy, like the fact he gets out there with his guitar, and it's like I love that guitar. It's a beautiful thing. It's like,
Gimmick's
man,
incredible.
he's so good.
It's just nothing like it was back in the day.
No.
And I'm about to say that for a later conversation. Absolutely. But
Be a wrestling show.
yeah, absolutely. I love it. I love it. And real quick, just our final plug for the day. Make sure you're following the Facebook Push It for Change podcast. Keep on rolling, Push It for Change. We'll have all that out there as well. We're going to make sure we get Matthew's social media links as well. I'm gonna let you continue on with our next topic before we exit out. Whatever one you want to kind of go with.
So you've got music, motivational speaking. How does that all tie together for you?
Well, I mean, it's there's an entertainment aspect to it, to it all. Like even with the speaking, it's one of the funniest things I was ever asked about at a speaking engagement. I spoke for middle school kids, and I was talking about how I was doing karate at the time, and I was working on karate forms and stuff, and like I was really built up at the time. And the kid looks at me, and we're outside, and he says, "Hey, Matt Rich." Yeah. He's like, "You think you could take down a mugger?" And I was like, "Maybe one on one." But I said, "If you put 2 or 3 in there, I'm in trouble." And they were like, "Why?" I said, "Because they could easily surround me and overtake me, you know?" So, but anyway, I think it's just part of it is just entertainment.
There,
Bec-
Manny,
because
I want to make a comment on that one about the 3 guys on one here because there's a training method that you can, and I'll teach you the basics if you want. It's called Krav Maga. Okay, Krav Maga was an military Israel self-defense tactic that they used for guys that would come after you either 3-on-1 or with knives and guns. Jason Statham. That's what Jason Statham does in his movies. It's Krav Maga. I
okay.
did Muay Thai, BJJ, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, and Krav Maga for about 3 years before I got into hockey. So you 100% there. You absolutely can do it. And by the looks of you look like you're a pretty solid cat. So how tall are you, by the way?
I'm actually like 5'3.5".
Shit,
In the chair or
Yeah.
out of the chair?
really?
Out of the chair. Out
You don't
out
need
of
to.
the out of the chair, I'm 5'3.5", and into the chair, my God, look what the dog did. In the chair, let's see, I'm shorter than my wife, so I'm probably like 3.5 feet in the chair.
Yeah, I'm afraid to say how tall I am. My goodness. Should we want to guess? We want to guess?
You're
Yeah.
6'1".
I'd say 6'3".
Really? 6'3"?
Mhm.
I'm 6 foot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, everybody's told me I'm 4'11" and
I
three
know, you
quarters.
probably look up at me like, "Holy fucking shit,
My
dude."
my neck's been hurting for
It's like
3 days.
it's like
'Cause
the
of the
World
coffee.
Trade Center all over again, respectfully saying.
You have to look up at everybody. My neck's straining.
Matt got that.
Yeah, man.
Got that. I love it,
Um,
man. That's great stuff, dude. You're doing incredible stuff, man. I got to applaud you one more time, dude. I just love what you got going on, dude. I'm excited to do things together, man. This is, it's been good. This is gonna be a fun journey, man. I don't think that this is the last the 3 of us will be doing some stuff, and it's cool. I know we kind of went all over the place here a little bit to get the grease the wheels, but a lot of cool, interesting conversations, a lot of cool things that were. Once again, who would have thought? I mean, 3 guys that come from completely different backgrounds have so much in common. I mean, we all
yeah,
just kind of quoted Scott Hall's Hall of Fame induction speech.
Wrestling brings people together. I don't know why
yeah,
everybody crap.
Cup of coffee
yeah.
in the. I'm not talking. I love that when he did that. He was with Sting, right? Mean Gene was like, "Hey, you want? I'm not talking." Okay, I said I'm not talking. Kevin, you want to talk to me here, brother, about what you got going on? I'm not talking.
That's pretty good.
Was that good?
That was really good.
It's pretty good.
Just you got to grease the pipes a little bit.
Well, hold on, it's not a sponsor, but look at poll. If I may, roll one more time. Here we go. Nothing means nothing. I said nothing means nothing.
rise to the top here, not the top where Kev is because he's 5'1" and 3.5 inches. We're talking about the top here when it comes all the time from the top here.
Yes, that's good. My eyes closed. I believe Macho Man was sitting next to me.
Just check. Sorry to bother you all at work.
I loved it. I loved it.
That was the first time I ever did that.
I was really impressed.
Thank you guys.
I appreciate
I
that.
could use that.
So, well, I know we're gonna, wrap it up here a little bit, Matt. So I'm gonna hit you with a little something a little bit harder.
Sure.
And so my biggest thing is, I'm a Rocky fan, and there's a quote in Rocky Balboa to the effect of, "It's not about how hard you get hit; it's about how hard you get hit and keep moving forward." So, how do you keep moving forward when life hits harder than you expect?
You asked me to be honest, right? The very beginning.
Yes.
There's
No,
days. This is yesterday is a perfect example. We were supposed to do this yesterday, and I contacted you and let you know that I was not in a good headspace to do it. And sometimes when life hits me really hard, like I have to stop,
Yeah.
literally take the day, take a break, and then
Yeah.
get up tomorrow and take on what I was supposed to do. Because sometimes, and it's not, you're not quitting. You're not quitting. You're just literally just taking a break.
you're taking a pause.
Yeah. You're just taking a break. If it's one thing I've learned, I'll be 45 in September.
Great,
And
brother.
thank you. And probably my hardest lesson to learn is or has been is to stop or slow down, take a breath, take my time. And if I need to take the break, take the break. I mean, I have cerebral palsy, and there are days where I used to do all types of things on my legs. I used to run races. I used to walk around County College in Blackwood, all over the place. And there are days where my legs just take an absolute crap on me and say, "Hey, we're not working
Yeah.
today." No matter how much you want us to or will us to, we're shutting down and we're saying goodnight. So you need to sit down and relax. So sometimes it's not about quitting. It's literally about accepting where you're at, taking that break, and then moving on to the next day and trying to complete the task that you were wanting to do the day of. I mean, I love Sly, right? And he picks up and he goes as hard as he can for the whole movie, but it's a movie. Like, the message is great though. Life hits you hard and you just keep going. You just keep going.
Have all three of us, really. If you don't mind, if I
Yeah.
appreciate that, host. I no, don't be never be sorry. It's your show, brother. So here's the deal. I thank you so much for being so vulnerable. I'm so proud of you for getting back on here. And I knew that you guys had postponed it to today, but I was unaware of the reason, obviously. And of course, it's none of my business. But I'm so glad that you decided to do this. I'm so glad that you're not a quitter, brother. Exactly what you said. You'll come back to it when the time's right. If you would have forced to do this show yesterday, we wouldn't have probably been able to come up with a good product. You wouldn't have been feeling it. You would have been trapped inside. And now here we are. Here we're having a couple of laughs. We're having a good conversation. We just flown by an hour. So I just want to applaud you. I'm really proud of you getting back on here. And you never knew what could come from it. We did. I think we did a really good show and some good conversations. I just feel like I'm really big on words of affirmation and words of encouragement. And Kev knows me well enough to know that's one of my big things. Like I'm a big pump up guy.
I don't want to cut you off, but I
Oh,
gotta
good.
just say this one thing. I told Kevin yesterday, I said, I want to be able to give you 100% when I'm ready because that's what you deserve.
Yeah. Well, I think you're doing incredible. And I'm honored to be here just having this conversation with you. This definitely won't be our last one. Man, what a great show it was, dude. What an incredible show it was. One more plug for the show. Make sure you're following us on Facebook. Push it for change.
The
Okay.
hour
Push it for
does.
change podcast. Keep on rolling. Push it for change podcast. We'll make sure we get all those social media links out there. Let's ask our guy. Let's go around and anything else you want to do a mention of what you got going on, and make sure you mention everywhere that we can find you before we do the final thought.
If people could if you could just go to my Facebook, which is under Matthew Rich Jr., all my current links for my YouTube channel are listed there, and that'll be the easiest way to find it. I'm still working on trying to do speaking engagements for Dream Big Sports Talk, which is based around actually getting out to local sports teams, baseball, hockey, basketball, whatever, and kind of talking to kids and telling them like, hey, this is what I did in my chair and on my crutches. And if you think that's difficult. Guess what you can do in your able body that you have.
I love it. You just gave me goosebumps, man. You gave me goosebumps because holy shit, man, this show. I just had a conversation with Kev a little bit ago about a good friend of mine. He plays high level hockey. Well, he is the assistant coach for a sled hockey team for children. I'm going out on Thursday to see the crew because I'm going to be doing Parker's going to be playing on my team. You want to talk about a stud? But yeah, his he plays sled hockey. He's number 44 out of 700 people in the country ranked as a sled hockey player. He opened up the doors to Kevin and of course you. I'd love to introduce you guys because I think that would be really really cool for something for you to do to talk with
I
them. I'm getting involved with them more and more. I just talked to Parker on the phone today, so let's definitely have a conversation off air, and we can I can when I meet the rest of the team on Thursday, maybe we can set something up where you guys meet me over at Voorhees.
I played sled hockey at one point at Voorhees, but I spent more time on the ice trying to get up in the sled than I did actually playing.
We'll get to
So I had
that
to
in a little
quit.
bit. I don't mean to cut you off, but when you said that, I mean literally exactly the conversation that you and I were having, and anything I have going on, I love everything about you. I think you're incredible. You have an incredible sense of humor, but you also know how to be vulnerable, and I think that those two make an incredible. And we'll go with a smoothie. We'll go with a smoothie on that one. I love
Thank
it.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, well said. But and for you, my brother, then we'll do a final thought all the way around.
I just want to thank Matt for joining us, and I want to thank you for pretty much wetting my whistle and letting me get it back into the swing of things here. And I'm excited to see what the future holds for the Pushing for Change podcast. And again, check us out on social media.
Absolutely, buddy. I'm more than happy to wet your whistle. Oh boy, I feel
Oh, the tingly, I feel a tingly sense.
KB, I just want to say how proud of you I am, dude. I know how far you've come. I know that the challenges that you've dealt with as far as starting the podcast years ago with Josh and then having to take time off from that. And then to see you here tonight and getting back to it. I know that Josh will be extremely proud of you, dude.
Yeah,
Don't make me cry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man.
it's the truth.
Josh was a very important person in my life, and passed away in 2022. And it's been a struggle to get to this point here in this moment.
You're doing it.
One thing that I am very grateful for is the support of the people in this room on the other end of that computer screen. My overall, support system
Yeah,
as a whole.
yeah, I couldn't agree more, and I appreciate that. I just appreciate the opportunity, and similar to Kev, I lost my. The reason why I started playing hockey was because of my best friend Leo Smith, and this would just be my final thought. My best friend Leo Smith was the reason why I got into hockey. He passed away in 2021 from a heroin overdose. Now he is the reason why I play hockey. I played high school hockey for Father Judge in Northeast Philadelphia. He gave me my equipment. Like I have my gear right there. I got my sticks right here. I have a banner right there. This is
Wow.
this is one of my prized possession autographed hockey stick right there from a good friend of mine who passed away a couple of years ago, and that's Johnny Gaudreau.
Oh, wow.
So about Johnny and Maddie, Johnny was a really good friend of mine. But
Yeah.
I'll say this as my final thought. When you love something, you pursue it, and you just be open to taking and asking for help. Be open to asking for help. It's okay to ask for help. There was a time where I was very grateful that the person I started doing podcasting with, I was a co-host on the show, and he showed me the ropes. He was probably one of the best hosts I've ever been able to see. Like he taught me my dialogue, which essentially led to me being able to do it like on my own. And I take that and pay it forward by showing the ropes and just kind of like structure and admin stuff like that. Like the flow comes. I always said your flow usually gets down to it's like 6 or 7 episodes, and next thing you know, it's just natural. But yeah, my final thought is don't shy away from the things that you love doing. Just keep going, and don't be afraid to ask for help along the way. That's my final thought. Back to you, host.
Beautiful. Yeah. My last comments on this are, again, no matter what life throws at you, keep on rolling and keep pushing for change. The only way that we make things happen is by pushing for it.
Love that. Final thought from you, Matt.
Beautiful. My final thought is I love my support system. I've got a great one. My beautiful wife, Colleen Rich, my puppy
Got it.
Pretzel, and I also want to plug Rich Brothers Construction, which is I'm the office manager for.
Well, I'll tell you this: if you're ever looking to promoting the biz, we can chit chat. I do a lot of sponsorships within the hockey tournaments.
Awesome.
Very
Awesome.
super cheap. Actually, probably too cheap. I learned to sell myself like crazy. But with that being said, my final thought I care so much about people and people succeeding that like it's hard for me to like charge people. Like what I'm doing right now, essentially, like this whole like the podcast, like the startup and stuff like that with him. Like this is something I charge. I charge like the rejects for. You know, it's good to be able to pay her forward though when you can for sure. You know what I mean? Because it's tough, dude. It's tough. You get it's like you had mentioned earlier. This would be my final thought. Being able to ask for help and, like, noticing, like, "Hey, I need I have a fork in the road. I need to bounce an idea off somebody. Who do I call?" Well, now we'll just have to start a group message.
Yeah, we will.
We'll just have to officially, but I love it, man. Is that all we got?
For tonight.
Well, make sure you follow us on social media. Once again, it's the 5th time I'm saying it. Keep on rolling, pushing for change, the podcast. Make sure you tell some beats. Make sure you tell a friend or somebody something nice today. It may, in fact, change their life, and we will see you guys all next time.